This year I have been hyperfixated on really getting my hair back to full health and getting to that waist length goal. And in doing all of these things, I fear that I may have neglected areas in my hair care routine or overdone it in some areas. So today's video is all about the 4 mistakes that I've actually been making this year that has cost me potentially length. What's up, curlies? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Kiki, and if you are new here, I do all things curly hair tips, product reviews and styling. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 4 mistakes that I've been making this year that has ultimately cost me length, in my opinion, and overall health. So let's get straight into it. The first mistake that I've been making this year that I actually know this one is like something I shouldn't be doing, but I still do it anyway, and that is switching up my products. Now, I've tried so hard to really stick with some generic products that I've been using, like, for example, I will kind of still use the As I Am Bond leave-in conditioner, and I will still kind of use apple cider vinegar in my routine and things of that nature. However, I am just addicted to switching products up, and this is no fault of my own. I do get sent a lot of products through PR parcels and things like that, and I just want to try everything, and I feel like this is really my Achilles heel because ultimately I have my favourites and I know what they are, and I don't stick to those products and I don't repurchase them just because I'm like, I'll get sent some more and then I'll just use what's there and etc, etc. So I'm going to really make a conscious effort after my holiday, which is in like 2 weeks, to purchase only products that I know work for me, that I have seen results with in the past. I'm going to get rid of a lot of my products and just focus on using the stuff I know works for me. And we'll really see. This is going to be the ultimate test for me because I am a product junkie. I love trying out new stuff, and in trying out new stuff, I feel like I never get to really learn truly what my hair actually likes and what it performs well with. So that is mistake number 1. Mistake number 2. If you have been following closely this year, you will know that I have been introducing henna into my hair care routine. Now, I did do a lot of research on henna prior to using it, hence the reason why I wanted to use it. It has so many benefits and it can really aid the strengthening of the hair, which is ultimately what I wanted this year. I wanted to be able to get stronger hair that ultimately doesn't break off at the ends, as you know. So I ordered the Curly Proverbs henna. I didn't use it for a particularly long time. I didn't let it set overnight. I left it a few hours in the fridge, and then I left it on my hair when I applied it for about half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour max, if I can remember correctly. And then I rinsed it off. And the results of it, I really enjoyed. I felt like my hair felt stronger, and I just felt like it overall was just in much better condition than prior to using the henna. So then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna use henna a little bit more often. And after this first instance of using it, I then used it again 6 or 7 weeks later, or maybe 8 weeks later. And the second time I used it, I changed a little bit of the variables in it because I thought it worked so well the first time. Let me see what benefits I can get if I let it set overnight and if I use mostly water and aloe vera juice instead of just aloe vera juice, and leave it on for a tiny bit longer. So the second time I did it, I kind of feel like it dried my hair out a little bit more. And there's one thing I didn't do in using henna is that I didn't follow up with a deep conditioner right away, which I did the first time, hence why the second time it probably felt drier. But this was because when I was posting online about my experience with henna and showing my tutorials, people in the comments were saying leave it for longer overnight and don't mix it with this, leave it on for longer during the application, don't follow up with a deep conditioner right away. And in listening to some of those comments, I feel like it had more of a negative effect on my hair. And following that, I then experienced some breakage on the ends of my hair. Now, I don't know if I can directly correlate this second time using henna to the breakage of my ends. All I know is I wasn't experiencing breakage after the first time of using henna. And then after the second time of using it, I was, not immediately after, it was a few weeks later, but I did experience breakage on the ends of my hair when I was detangling. So although it may not even be the henna, it could be something completely different. As I mentioned, I switch my products up. It could be a product that I'm using that has had that effect on my hair. But in just reflecting back on some of the things I've been doing recently, I'm just maybe putting it down to the use of henna, and as a result, I am going to scale back the use of it. Although I do really enjoy it, I think I'm maybe just going to do it once every 6 months and do it exactly how I did it the first time, with aloe vera juice, not leaving it to sit for too long, and then following up with a deep conditioner straight away. So I know henna works for some people. I know it's got so many benefits, and I just feel like maybe because I have fine hair that is pretty susceptible to breakage anyway, it may not be for me on such a frequent basis. Even though I'm not actually doing it that frequent, it still probably isn't for me using it every 6 to 8 weeks. So I'm not going to be doing that anymore. The third mistake that I made this year, which could potentially be causing me length, is focusing on moisture rather than hydration, and specifically when it comes to hair washing. Now, being that I have been in my protective style season for the past, I want to say 8 months, I've been doing really well, and it has served me really well. I'm not going to put down that the protective styles that I've been doing have not benefited my hair, because it has gone from damaged, wispy ends to full, thick, really nice hair and ends. So I will say the protective styling has done me a world of good. However, I'm still facing the issue of my ends not being as moisturized and retaining that moisture. And although I do moisturize my hair very frequently throughout the week, I will do it at least once every 2 or 3 days, it's still not enough. And knowing my hair and knowing that it does not dry out that often, when I used to do wash and goes, I could easily get to day 4 and my hair still is pretty moisturised. It's not high porosity to the point where I moisturise it and then the next day it needs more moisture again and I need to re-wet it. Not at all. It actually holds moisture pretty well, being that it is mostly medium porosity. However, thinking back and considering some of the feedback I've got on my recent videos, I'm thinking that it may be an issue when it comes to build-up and moisture. And with that in mind, I'm thinking I may need to be clarifying my hair or shampooing my hair more frequently to make sure that I'm not just putting moisture on top of moisture that's already there and it's not necessarily getting and penetrating into my hair properly as it would if I stripped it all off and started afresh. So that then brings me to the kind of thought process of I need to start switching up the styles that I'm doing throughout the week, because washing it in protective styles is way too much ag for me, if I'm being honest. Although I have been doing it, I've been washing my hair in twists this year and it benefits the scalp, but if I'm really being honest with myself and truthful, I don't think it actually benefits the rest of my hair as it would if I just took the twists out and shampooed it properly and deep conditioned it properly and then applied the product after, I don't think it has the same effect. So I'm thinking about going back to a more of a low manipulation routine, as opposed to keeping my protective styles in for weeks on end and then trying to kind of wash my hair in the protective style and all that business. So we will see. This is something coming up very shortly that we all need to stay tuned for, because some big changes coming in my routine when it comes to product use and some of my styling techniques and my wash days. So that is mistake number 3 that I am going to be working towards rectifying. The last mistake that I'm going to discuss is something that I have a little bit of a conflicting opinion on, and it is trying to be more natural when it comes to product use. Now, I did want to this year, back at the start of the year, I mentioned being more natural and using more Ayurvedic methods of hair care. And although I do feel like those methods would benefit my hair and have benefited my hair, I don't think it's something that I have the time in my schedule to keep up with, or the effort, if I'm being completely honest. That's what it is. I don't want to put the effort into making these DIYs, keeping them in the fridge, and then having to go to the fridge every time I want to moisturize my hair, or I want to do something with my hair. I've got to make this DIY. I feel like it's just too much effort for my lifestyle and how I want to live my life. I want to be able to just go to my cupboard and pull out a leave-in spray and just use that, as opposed to have to go and make it up in the kitchen. I feel like I've put a little bit of pressure on myself to go more natural this year, and I don't think it correlates or coincides with my actual overall hair goals. I don't want my hair to be so high effort and high energy to the point where I can't maintain it on a consistent basis. So really going back to those products that I mentioned earlier that I know work, that are just going to be easy for me to moisturize and seal my hair with a product, no matter if it does have silicones in it or it has XYZ chemicals in it. I think going back to those things that are just easier for my lifestyle is going to make my goals a lot more achievable and a lot more easier to get to. So no more natural for me. I think the most I'm going to do is flaxseed gel, which I really enjoy pre-pooing with from time to time. However, again, I fell off that because it's just the effort of making it. So alternatively, we can go to the African Pride aloe and coconut water pre-poo, because that is one staple that I absolutely love. So yeah, just being really open and honest with some things that have been working for me, some things that haven't been working for me, and getting some of your feedback on my comments on my video. Obviously, a lot of comments and a lot of feedback, it can be overwhelming at times, and ultimately I know what's best for my hair at the end of the day. And going back to those fundamentals, those staple products that I know work for me, and just making the process of styling and washing my hair that much easier so I can be consistent with it. Hope you enjoyed this video on the 4 mistakes that I've made this year. Make sure you tune in to my live with Natural 2020 in half an hour to get all of the tips on length retention and routines for really, really long and healthy hair by Long Haired Naturals. And I will see you in the next one.